Hello! Thank you for joining me for another episode of Stigma-Free Learning Live with the Stigma-Free Society. Welcome to another Monday. We're back again. My name is Samara Liberman. I am the host of this Facebook and YouTube live event brought to you by the Stigma-Free Society. The gender pronouns that I use are she and her. And welcome back. We're here again on a Monday. As always, a wonderful Monday, I'm hoping, wherever you are in the world watching this. Hopefully the weather is beautiful and that you're enjoying the summer and that it's not too rainy or it's not too hot. It's kind of that beautiful summer temperature. I just want to shout out all the teachers who survived another school year. Congratulations. Vacation mode. Well, I think everyone assumes that teachers get way more time off in the summer than they actually do. But you survived. You made it through another year. I hope it was a great one for you. I hope you had a really nice round off to the year with your students and that you are looking forward to the upcoming year, whatever that's going to be for you. If you're with the same group, same grade, or if you're jumping around within the school, I hope you're anticipating it and looking forward to it, but also that you get some well-deserved R&R over the next little while of the summer. So thank you for joining me. If you are here on your summer vacation, congratulations, you're doing some really good prep work for next year. If you're not an educator and you're just joining me for this live event, hello, thank you for being here as well. I know that this is not, my entire viewership is not just teachers, but I'm sure a lot of you out there are educators. So if you're with me and you're still in this, hello, thank you. So as always, the Stigma-Free Learning Live event is here upon us again, and I'm going to give an introduction to myself and the Stigma-Free Society in case you are a new viewer. If you are, hello, thank you for joining me. I've said that about 6,000 times already. I've got a lot of energy today. I don't know if you can tell. So again, my name is Samara. The gender pronouns that I use are she and her. I am the programs manager at the Stigma-Free Society, and I have a bachelor's degree in equity studies. I have a master's in teaching, and I have a professional development certification in early years mental health. I've been with Stigma-Free for well over a year now, going on a year and a half. And I'm really passionate about the work that we do in reducing stigma of all kinds with a focus on mental health and the stigma around mental health. So we have our Student Mental Health Toolkit, and that is an incredible hub of resources that are all virtual, all online, that you can access as an adult, or if you're a student watching this, hello, you can also access all of our resources there. And we have a bunch of different sections that are tailored to a bunch of different stakeholders within the school system and also within the life of a student. So whether that's the student themselves or a parent, guardian, or caregiver, a teacher, a school counselor, there's resources there for all of you. And the purpose of these resources is to act as some preventative education. So we're not a crisis hotline, we're not a crisis-based society or a crisis-based organization, but we just want to provide you with some context, some education around mental health and mental wellness, and also just to kind of start the conversation around stigma and the stigma that surrounds mental health. So I hope that you check out the Student Mental Health Toolkit if you want to follow along with the lesson that I'm going to be talking about today. It is on the Student Mental Health Toolkit, so that is a great place to go and look at while you are involved in this live event. So the lesson that we're going to be looking at today while you're exploring the toolkit, hopefully, you can find under the grades 4 to 7 section. So it's a lesson plan for students in grade 7 specifically. And the title is Music and Mental Wellness. And the curriculum areas, if you're kind of looking at the way that we've laid out the lesson plans, it's by curriculum area. So you can find this lesson plan under 3 curriculum areas. It's under science, arts education, and health and physical education. So it's under all of those sections. So it's not just in one of them, it's in all of them because it's cross-curricular. So as always, I'm going to encourage you to leave a comment, some feedback. If you want to just say hi, if you want to chat while I'm, going through this lesson with you today, please feel free to comment. Anything you want, give me some feedback, give me a thumbs up. I don't know. You can like the video. I'd love that. You can heart the video on Facebook, just so that I know that you're out there and that you're engaging and watching. It's really nice to know that I'm not just kind of sending this out into the void and that there's people out there who are watching and participating. So thank you so much. If you leave a comment, I will respond to you in the comment section. So if you're following along, we're going to dive into the lesson. So the lesson begins with some scientific facts about the effects of music. So it notes that music can have a profound impact on our mood and can boost our brain's production of the hormone dopamine. This increased dopamine production helps relieve feelings of anxiety and depression. So that is the crux of this lesson. It's the concept that music can boost our mood and impact our mental well-being. So clearly there is some science to back this up, but I think most of us are kind of like aware of that anyway. So I personally can attest to the fact that if I am feeling down, there are certain songs that I can put on that I know will make me feel better just like pretty much instantly. I will give you one example. Earth, Wind, and Fire. September is a really great song, and it just, anytime I put it on, it just immediately makes me happy. Marvin Gaye, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, also a great mood booster if you're looking for those. Those are my personal recommendations. So through the lesson, your students will have the opportunity to share music that makes them happy. They will create playlists of mood-boosting music and compare their mood before listening to the songs and after to see if their happiness or mood increases, and to see if they shift how they feel. So if they were feeling really low and they put on a happy song, did they feel better? Was there some correlation between the music and their mood? So they will focus on the correlation between music and mood, as I just said, and delve into the science behind the therapeutic technique of music therapy. In this lesson, they will discuss and explore how music can support their mental wellness on an ongoing basis. So this lesson is intended to just be like really fun and engaging, and to show your students that boosting your mood can be really simple and easy. Something as simple as listening to a song or curating a playlist in advance. So when they're in a bad mood, they know they can put that playlist on and it'll make them feel a little bit better and lift their spirits. So, as I mentioned, the curriculum areas that we are looking at today are health and physical education, as always, arts education, and science. So the art curriculum competencies connect to the music component. So music is a really great art form and can have a really big impact on us, and your students will explore that through this lesson. So I really wanted to do something that uses the arts curriculum, but it wasn't just about visual art or language arts. It was bringing music into the equation because it's another art form that we can talk about in correlation to mental health. So the health and physical education curriculum obviously connects to discussion of mental health and wellness, and science ties into the exploration of how music impacts our brains, and also they will be doing a science experiment in the lesson where they're tracking their mood. So a little bit about brain chemistry, a little bit about the kind of scientific method, and then how they're going to approach the active component of the lesson. So the video that you're going to show looks at how music affects our brains. So it goes into like a scientific perspective. It's a really accessible video. It's made for young people, so it's really easy to kind of get them intrigued by it. And it's like really appropriate and accessible language as well. So it also talks about music therapy specifically and how music therapy can improve our mood. So music therapy is a very common therapeutic technique for treating mental health challenges and mental illnesses. So the guiding questions that you can ask after watching the video are: how does music impact your mood? Can music change the way you're feeling? Do you find you're happier when you're listening to certain genres over others? Is there a specific song that makes you feel happy? And when you're feeling down, do you find that music changes your mood? So really getting them thinking about, obviously, what this lesson is all about, which is music and feelings and mood. So after you watch the video and ask the guiding questions, you are prompted to delve into the concept of music therapy a little bit more. So explain to your students that music therapy has become a common therapeutic practice in recent years. Music therapy takes two primary forms. So the first one involves simply listening to music and relaxing, while the other one involves making music with instruments, which can be particularly effective for those who struggle to communicate verbally. So for people who want to kind of work through their feelings but have a really hard time communicating through words, or maybe they have autism and they are nonverbal or have some type of other thing that makes them not be able to express themselves verbally, but they have a lot of feelings that they want to work through. Music is a really, really great way to do that. So music therapy can be involved in that as well. So in both forms of music therapy, clients are working through challenging situations and improving their mood through music. So this understanding of music therapy will help to ground the rest of the lesson and provide your students with a bit of context about what they're going to be doing and why they're doing it. So next, share with your students that music therapy isn't just for a therapeutic setting. While music therapy is a method that therapists use to help their clients cope with difficult or challenging emotions, music can be implemented in our everyday lives to shift our mood and improve our mental wellness. Music is one of the most fail-safe techniques that a lot of people implement when they want to make themselves feel better. Without even knowing it, I think a lot of us do use music to change our mood, or also just to kind of work through some sadness. Like, it can be a really great way to improve your mood, but it can also be a really great way to work through how you're feeling emotionally. Sometimes you just need to sit in the sadness, and putting on a really sad song that can make you feel a certain way is a really impactful way to work through those challenging emotions as well. So I think it's good to give them both of those perspectives, that it help to improve your mood by shifting your mood, but it can also help to improve your mood and circumstances by working through how you're feeling, by like really sitting in the sadness and just kind of working through what you're feeling and what you're feeling sad about. So when we're feeling low, there's always songs that can improve our mood. As I mentioned, I have a few that I mentioned before. Even if it's just a little bit, it can help just shift things for us internally. Music makes you feel more in touch with how you're feeling, even when more negative emotions such as sadness arise. Connecting to these emotions rather than ignoring them or trying to be happy when you aren't can also be really healthy. Which songs improve our mood will be different for everyone. Music is very personal, and it's important to remind your students that we should not be judging others' musical choices. So it can be hard if students maybe are interested in music that's not necessarily considered popular, that we're making sure that those students also feel safe to share their musical preferences. We want to make sure that we are, there's no bullying happening, there's no judgment of others happening. So if you're concerned about that, maybe do some of that preparatory work and ensure that every student feels safe to share their musical taste. So for the active part of the lesson, share with your students that they are going to be conducting science experiments to test how music impacts their mood. Have them curate a playlist of mood-boosting music. So they can either do this with a pen and paper, like they can write it down, or if they have access to computers or tablets, they can create their own playlists through YouTube or a music streaming service like Spotify or Apple Music. Next, your students will select a day when their mood is a little bit lower for whatever reason. This could be because they're stressed about school, they've had an argument with a family member, or plans they were supposed to have got canceled suddenly and they're just kind of feeling a little bit more down than usual. When they're experiencing this lower day, have them curate this mood-boosting playlist to see if their mood shifts and to track that mood or that shift in their mood. And there's a template within the body of the lesson that they can use to do that. So kind of getting them within like the lesson that you're doing in the classroom to create that playlist so that they then can go and, find that day, select whatever day they want to kind of do this experiment and then use that template to track their feelings. So this is intended to be a fun way of tracking how music impacts the students' feelings and emotions. I wanted this lesson to be really light and fun, and just so that they can see that there are really simple things that we can do to take care of our mental well-being. So some accommodations and modifications for your students are if a student is visually impaired, they can record their findings in a voice note. If your students are deaf or hard of hearing, they can use some form of visual art instead if that is something that they use to boost their mood. Again, you will know what your students need better than I do. I don't know your students. You know them very well. So if you need other accommodations or modifications, please implement them as you see fit. So to wrap up the lesson, students will share their results with each other. The following week, once the students have all had time to conduct their experiment and listen to their songs and gather their results, have them share their experiences with each other. This can be in partners, in small groups, or in a large class discussion. Or if your students don't feel comfortable sharing, they can share just with you personally, however that looks for you with your students. So for the lesson closure, reflect with your students on how music is a factor in our mental health and wellness. When we are feeling low, we can use music as a tool to support our mental health. Equipping ourselves with multiple tools can help ensure that we are in the best position possible to acknowledge what we are feeling and to shift our mental state when we need to. So as I mentioned, I think it's also good to note with them that sometimes it's not about trying to change how we're feeling. I think with mental health, we don't necessarily want to discount the days that we really just need to feel sad. So I would bring that into this lesson as well and really just share with them, like, they can also make like a feeling down day playlist if they just want something to use to sit in their feelings a little bit more. So this can kind of take whatever shape you want it to. You can extend on it if you want to do that piece as well. They can even do another experiment tracking their mood when they're having a bad day. If they listen to their feeling sad playlist, how does that help them work through how they're feeling? So just some other ways that you can expand on this lesson if you would like. So that's it for the lesson today. A bit of a shorter one, a little bit more of a fun, easy, kind of digestible one. Last time we spoke a bit about grief, and that was a bit of a heavier one. So I wanted to do something a little bit lighter and more fun and easy today. So I hope you enjoyed it. I will be back not next week, but the week after. This is a bi-weekly live event, so I'm not with you every week, but I'm with you every other week. So I will be with you then to talk about another lesson. And if you have a specific lesson that you want me to talk about, leave it in the comments down below, and I'm happy to kind of, pick and choose based on what you want to see. I don't necessarily have a set schedule for these. I just kind of pick a random lesson. I try to go back and forth between youth and teens. So if there's one in the teen section that you want to see next week, let me know. If you're a high school teacher or student, and you want to look at one specific lesson from the teen section, let me know. I'm here. So thank you so much, and I will see you very soon, and I hope